Hi, this is Alicia from Behind the Picket Fence, and today I'm here to do my May reading wrap-up. During the month, I read a total of 11 books, and most of that is thanks to the 2 readathons that I participated in. The first book I read, listened to during May was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling, and I've read this before, and this time I listened to it as an audiobook with my sister while going on vacation and stuff like that. So yeah, I liked it, but not as much as when I read it. So basically I gave it a 4-star rating just because the audiobook wasn't as awesome as it was when I read it as the book. Then I read Night Play by Sherilyn Kenyon, and I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. Basically because it seemed really rushed, and the ending just seemed kind of too happy for a romance novel with this huge battle and whatever in it. That just seemed anticlimactic and wasn't the best Sherilyn Kenyon book I've ever read, but it still is an awesome book because Sherilyn Kenyon just has an amazing way with words, and she really knows how to tell a story, and I still am very much in love with her Dark Hunter, Dream Hunter, Were Hunter series, and I'm definitely going to continue with the next book. And then I read Breathe by Abby Glines, and like most of you know, I started this before the readathon and finished it during the readathon. And the 2 previous books that I mentioned, I read before/after the readathons. And this one I gave a 3 out of 5 stars as well, and basically it was just, I don't know, it was melodramatic, and it really didn't get good until like the last 50 to 100 pages, and I don't know, there was a love triangle, and that love triangle was just so stupid, because, you know, it's not gonna be him, and yeah, that kind of thing just annoys me, and the way it was done in this book was not my cup of tea. So yeah, 3 out of 5 stars, and just an okay read. After Breathe, I read Savage Hunger by Terry Spear, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars, and basically the only reason I did that, because this book was amazing, the only reason I did that was because a lot of the story points along the way, like, they had to hide from some enemies in the jungle a few times, and the way that they hid, I'm not going to give anything away because it's not nice to do spoilers, which it's not really a spoiler, but still. The way that they hid was overdone and repeated many times, so I was just like, you probably could have come up with a few different ways that they could hide from the enemy, but overall, I loved this book. I really loved how Terry Spear portrayed the Jaguar shifters and how we got to be inside the mind of the shifter while they were in Jaguar form. And it was just really great and an awesome paranormal romance, and I would recommend it to all of you. Then I read Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry, and this is my first Katie McGarry book, and it was pretty awesome. And I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and the only reason I rated it 4 out of 5 stars is because I don't know, this book and this author kind of seem overhyped to me, and because it didn't blow me away like everyone else was saying, I was just a little bit disappointed by the lack of awesomeness, I guess. Not that it wasn't an amazing book, it just wasn't a 5-star amazing book. I really loved Echo and Noah. They were really amazing together. I really like how the story turned out, and I also found out that there's going to be a second one about Echo and Noah, and I'm very excited about it, so I can't wait to read that. But I would recommend this to a lot of different people. Basically, contemporary young adult romance that has dark themes, so I guess if you tend to be sensitive about like those kinds of things. I don't want to say anything that'll give it away, but just be careful about reading this if you don't like dark books. And I needed a break from like full-on books, and one of the books I was reading at the time, I just needed a break from it, so I picked up Saga Volume 1, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars just because I didn't really have the time to connect with the characters very much, and there was a lot of world building and stuff that was kind of like you just have to jump into the book and not know what's really going on, and the fact that I didn't know what was going on kind of decreased the worth of this for me. And so yeah, 3 out of 5 stars. It was really great. There's some beautiful pictures and beautiful art in this. Not that, but like some amazing stuff, and I really recommend that you check this out. Obviously, a lot of you have probably heard of this series, but if you haven't and you're interested in trying a graphic novel, I would recommend this. And then, of course, I had to pick up Saga Volume 2, and this one was much better. I loved it. It was awesome. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars just because it wasn't the 5-star amazing. It was just really awesome, and I loved how the story progressed, and I really cannot wait for Volume 3. I'm currently like 7th in line for it from the library, so we'll see how soon I'll get that, and maybe I'll read it in June. Then I decided to read an ebook that I had found on Tumblr from one of the people that I follow, posting quotes from it, and I thought that really just sounded like a beautiful book. So I picked up In Your Arms, probably really hard to see, by R.J. Samuel. It's just a little ebook that was literally like 7 pages long. And because it was so short, I really didn't have the time to connect with it, and I didn't really enjoy it that much, and I rated it a 2 out of 5 stars. And honestly, if it had been longer and not so rushed, I think I would have liked it more, but overall it was just kind of not good. And I mean, it was free on Amazon, so I picked it up and when I thought it sounded really good, but I didn't like it. And getting to the book that I was bored with when I picked up Saga Volume 1 and 2 is From Neighbors to Newlyweds by Brenda Harlan. And starting out, I really liked this book. I liked the characters, but nothing happened. I mean, they kissed, but they kissed and then it was over, and not the book, just their relationship for the rest of the book. And I don't feel like that is a worthy romance for myself to be reading, and the fact that it was so messed up, like, honestly, I feel like the author didn't know what they were writing and how they were writing it. And yeah, so like the last 30 pages of the book were actually the most exciting part for the relationship that was in this book. I didn't like it because it was so rushed, but the fact that they actually got their happily ever after, which they always do in Harlequins, was just a little weird, and I didn't like it. So yeah, I would not recommend this book. I finally finished reading Faking It by Cora Carmack, and I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't like the characters in this. I found them to be rather annoying, and I just really didn't like Cade, because in Losing It, he's the sad little puppy that didn't get the girl, and a lot of this book is him dealing with the fact that he never gets the girl, and he's probably not going to get the girl in this one either, and it's fine to spend some time on that, but to make most of the book about that, and about his struggles finding that he can actually love someone else, is just a little too much for me. I also found that Max, the female character, her problems with her mom and her family altogether could have been explained a little earlier on, because I found that the way she was acting around her mom compared to the things that were happening in the book that we found out about but didn't find out about previous things that had happened in the story for her, it just made it seem like the female character was shallow and a bitch, basically. But just the way that was told just made it not very good. And towards the end, I did like them, and that is what kind of brought the rating back up to a 3-star rating, but it just wasn't really that good. And if this had been the first Cora Carmack I had read, I probably wouldn't read another one by her, because I just didn't like it. I don't know if it had to do with the fact that it took me like 4 months to read this book, or if it just wasn't very good. I don't know, but I wouldn't recommend this to very many people. I'm sure some people out there would enjoy it. I just did not. And then the final book that I read was another ebook, and that was His Declaim No Strings by Opal Carew, and I liked this rather a lot. The characters were really easy to connect with, and the fact that it was so short but really well put together made it so I really wanted to read part 2, and I found a lot of things about this book rather enjoyable, and the fact that they don't have sex in this is very unique, and it doesn't happen with many like ebooks, and especially serial ebooks. When they're focused around a relationship, it tends to be like all sex, but the fact that this wasn't, the fact that it was building the characters before they actually did anything like that, was very refreshing. And it's not that it was lacking because they didn't have sex, because there was definitely sexual tension and interest, and they kissed, but the fact that you know that it's going to happen kind of just helps you read and just enjoy it more. So, I don't know, maybe it was like the perfect book for me at the time, but I liked it, and I would recommend it to pretty much everyone that likes musicians and like kind of 50 Shades-esque CEO romance type books. This is everything that I read this month, which is insane for me. I was super behind on my Goodreads challenge, and now I'm pretty much caught up. I'm still like 4 books behind, but that shouldn't be too bad. But this is insane, and wow, this is heavy. So yeah, those are all the books I read for the month, and I'm very proud of myself. It is a great accomplishment, and I will be uploading my Bookshelf Tour Part 2 video in June sometime. I don't know when. It's just gonna take a while for it to upload, so I've been kind of trying to figure out what day I should do it, and basically just trying to space them out a little bit. And obviously it's been a while since I posted the Part 1, and I am planning on uploading Part 2. It's just I have to figure out when I want to do it, and so yeah, let me know down below how you did this month, how many books you read, what you read. I'd love to hear all the details, and thank you for watching. Happy reading. Bye!